Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One, and I am back with another video. You guys know what you got to do. Rate, comment, subscribe. Please believe, hit that notification bell so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream goes down. Do not forget to share this content with your friends, family, and followers. All right. Now, without further ado, also hit me up on other social media apps: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Pretty soon I'm gonna have that in the description down below, where you can subscribe and enjoy. So, this article comes from citynews.com. And basically, they was talking. I read the article. They also had a video, but I read it more so than watched the video. Now, the moves that the Clippers did, how that affects the Houston Rockets. Now, if you look at Vegas, the odds of who's going to win next year's championship, the Clippers are number one, followed by the Lakers. They pretty much have the same odds, so it's like 1A and 1B. And everybody has increased their chance of winning a title. And like I told you guys a couple of weeks back, how these moves make it more competitive for the NBA. The days of super teams and the days of only one team is going to win it all. I think the Golden State Warriors dynasty had that for a certain amount of time. Those days are over, folks. So, how these moves affect the Houston Rockets? And they affect the Houston Rockets in two folds. One, when you look at their team, they don't have enough cap flexibility to make moves to try to equal or surpass the moves that other teams have made. Okay, and two, they're stuck on. They have contracts that are going to be difficult to move. I feel like the Rockets' strategy. I feel like they were trying to do a wait and see type of approach, see what everybody else is doing before they start making moves. And they did try to trade Chris Paul and that ridiculous contract they gave Chris Paul to the New York Knicks. And the New York Knicks says thanks, but no thanks, because they don't want to be stuck with that contract, okay? Because Chris Paul's best years are behind him, okay? So basically, you're going to be paying a point guard who's not as good as he used to be. I'm not saying the Houston Rockets are not going to the playoffs. I feel like they are going to go into the playoffs, but I also feel like there's a possibility that they can win the championship as well if they can get Andre Iguodala. I feel like if they get Iggy as well as James Harden and Chris Paul, I think that nucleus will be good enough to have an opportunity to win a title. Clearly, they're going to have to upgrade what they have. Now, the one thing that the Houston Rockets don't have to fear or don't have to worry no more is the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are not who they were last year. Last year they had Boogie, Draymond, Steph, Clay, and KD. This year, they only have Draymond and Steph for like half of the season, and I feel like after the All-Star break, Klay Thompson is going to join the team, and they're gonna do some major damage. Not as far as dominating the regular series, but I feel like they're gonna. A lot of people are pretty much saying the Golden State Warriors are out. They're not going to make it to the playoffs. I'm here to tell you guys, do not believe that. Don't believe the hype. I feel like this is going to be the year where Steph Curry is really going to challenge and compete for the MVP of the regular season. Now he's going to get the bulk of the touches. You're going to really see some brilliant flashes of Steph Curry in this upcoming season. Okay, so when you talk about the Houston Rockets, they really truthfully, honestly, they can't do what everyone else is doing. They don't have enough salary cap. I apologize for the noise in the background. They don't have enough salary cap space to just sign anybody. They also can't trade anyone, and you know, when you look at their roster, they really don't have pieces, desirable pieces that people want. Clint Capella is one of those type of players that's always in trade scenarios. Okay, and I feel like they should keep Clint Capella because you need a defensive anchor, even though your team is not known for defense. But I feel like Clint Capella blends in pretty well with James Harden and Chris Paul. Okay, I feel like they should keep Clint Capella, but I feel like that's their best asset, that's their best chip if they want to compete as far as signing free agents or getting into trades and things of that nature. The Memphis Grizzlies are not going to waive Iggy because they know the potential of Iggy, and they know Iggy has a lot of suitors out there that wants his services. The Los Angeles Lakers want Iggy. The Dallas Mavericks want Iggy. The Miami Heat want Iggy. So when you got so many teams that is waiting for this guy to be waived, and they're gonna bid for him, the Memphis Grizzlies are smart enough to know that we should hold on to him, get some trade, get him. Put him up into a trade. Excuse me, and we can get some. We can get some picks or possibly a young and up and coming player if they want Iggy that bad. Which when you look at the Lakers and when you look at the Rockets, they desperately need Iggy on their roster. Okay, so as far as this, how this changes the dynamics with the Houston Rockets, I feel like they're still going to contend for a title. And like I told you guys on numerous occasions, sorry about the noise in the background. I told you guys on numerous occasions, this is going to, the next 5 years, you're going to see a different team win the NBA title. There's a possibility that could happen. Should the New York Knicks go out and try to get Russell? Yes. I don't see why not. They have the salary cap flexibility to do that. Now, there's another team that's also interested in Russell Westbrook. I don't know if a lot of people know about this or not, but it's the Miami Heat. The sticking point with that is the Miami Heat does not have enough salary cap space to fit Russell Westbrook's contract. So what they're going to possibly do with the Oklahoma City Thunder is do a trade package where they have to send players that has the salary that matches Russell Westbrook's salary. There's a good and a bad with that. The good news is, you trade Russell Westbrook, you get out of that contract, and you can finally start rebuilding because Oklahoma City Thunder and Sam Presti knows that they're not going to be able to compete with these other teams that are making these big moves and upgrading their roster. So they're looking at it as let's start the rebuilding plan right now. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is when you trade Russell Westbrook to the Knicks and the Knicks give you some players that equal, when you look at their salary, they equal and matches Russell Westbrook's salary. 9 times out of 10, those are players that you done overspent and overpaid for, which didn't contribute to you, meaning the New York Knicks. So now the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to have to take on salary. Now, Sam Presti is a smart man. He will take those players if he know he can flip them to other teams to get some more picks, because clearly the Oklahoma City Thunder are not contending, and they understand the landscape that they're not gonna be able to make the playoffs, even with Paul George. If they still would have kept Paul George and Russell Westbrook, I feel like it would have been very difficult and hard for them to make it to the playoffs. And if they did make it to the playoffs, they was going to be bounced in the first round. Let's just be fair and let's just be honest. Keep it a stack. Let's keep it a buck. All right. So when you look at the possibility of Russell Westbrook going to to the Knicks. I think that's a good move for Russell Westbrook. He goes to the East. Even though the East is not as stacked as the West, it a play here, a play there. You win a couple of games here, you win games you're not supposed to, and boom, the Knicks could possibly be in the playoffs. Okay, but there's the only way this is going to truly work for the New York Knicks, and for Russell Westbrook is what they're going to send to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, guys, I would love to answer more of your questions. People sleeping on the Spurs. I'm not sleeping on the Spurs. I told you guys that, and I hate to say things twice, but like I said, even though the West is stacked, you got like six teams that can contend and compete for an NBA title. Okay, you and the San Antonio Spurs is one of those teams. Okay, best believe that. I haven't slept on the Spurs. I also haven't slept on, when you look at the Phoenix Suns and the Sacramento Kings, they're going to be competing to get those final that final playoff spot. One of those teams, because Oklahoma City Thunder, they're not contending, so that's a spot that one of those teams could probably contend and compete for. Okay, I'm not sleeping on Spurs. I thought Spurs were going to sign Boogie. They signed damn, who the hell they signed? And they gave him a $20 million contract. The Spurs the deepest team in the league with the additions of Morris. Yes, they're the deepest team, no doubt. And they're going to be competing. Yes, Marquise Morris. They signed him. I did a video on that yesterday, and I thought that was a pretty decent move. I'm not going to sit up here and say that move puts them over the Lakers or the Clippers. Okay, but I feel like that's a move that solidifies them. They was already going to the playoffs. This really confirms that they're going to the playoffs, and they're not joking. They're not joking for any stretch of the imagination. Well, that's all I got for today. Unfortunately, I apologize for that. I'll try to get back on later on today. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One. Please hit the like button. Share this content with your friends, family, and followers. I will get at y'all on the other side of town. Peace. The Lakers got no depth and scared of the Clippers. Who will the Lakers have to give up? That's two great questions I'm not going to have time to talk about, but I will come back later on, guys. Your boy's busy. I'm out here making moves. Your boy's busy. I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuce.